Kellen Mond should probably think about it too, because
welcome to the Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. And just like Kellen Mond, we're thinking about it, and we're thinking about everything. They didn't get the whole conversation. They only got the Kellen Mond stuff. So we're here to talk about a little news. Football's back. Boys Hall of Fame game has been played. I don't know what to take from Hall of Fame and preseason games this early, but whatever. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about running back rankings and how wrong we are going to be come the end of the year with our running back rankings.
good chance.
How you boys doing?
I'm good. It's Friday. I got a beer. I'm good. Let's do this.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Oh, you can't see it. Which is probably better for everyone, but
It's because you're supposed to go labels out.
well, it's green bottle, so. But no, I'm not going to show the label. I'm not going to get sued.
No,
I almost got sued last week when I was singing, so.
That's fine, dude. I sing all the time. Not enough people watch the show. We're good. Brad, you got your family back? You're all rolling with that?
Yeah, they're back.
I'm working on my stuff in my house. I'm hoping to get this set up this weekend. Eric, how's your back, bud?
It's better, incrementally better, but yeah, I'm not on fire sitting here, so that's great.
Oh, we need to get you some shots in the back.
No, physical
Speaking
therapy's
on
getting
fire.
it done.
Speaking of on fire, though, that's a perfect segue into Josh. Why don't you tell them what's on fire in the FSA?
It's much better than the California desert, which is always on fire. It's not quite that hot, but FSA-FR.com. We got redraft drafts coming up soon, along with the selection shows, which are going to be amazing. So make sure you come check that out, FSA-FR.com. Normally we do that on Facebook, but since we have this stream, it'll be on Facebook, Instagram, and the YouTube. So check it out. And then we're also on Twitch as well. We absolutely appreciate everything that you guys do for us. There are still leagues you can sign up for. Go check it out. There's the Monkey Knife Fight. There's still the Veterans League and Active Duty Military League. So there's still things for you to be able to get involved in. There's the Arm and Leg League. So please check it out. Hello, Maria. We appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Please check it out, FSA-FR.com. And then you can find all the different shows like The Average Bros, which every Tuesday night. You can find the Fanatic Real broadcast every Wednesday night where you can find Brian, who is the godfather of FSA. Hey, I need to go listen.
Say Brad or Brian?
Brian.
Oh.
Brian. Bry guy. Come on, dude. Come on.
The brain.
Anyway, check it out, FSA-FR.com. Back to you, Bradley Dadley.
Well, before you give it to me, let's talk about paying some bills. Eric.
Yeah, let's talk some football darts. Let's thank our broadcast sponsor. Football darts is a dart game that combines the skill of traditional darts with the strategies of American football. This innovative dart game is played on a uniquely designed multiple target dartboard. Unlike traditional British darts, American football darts is a game that combines both the skill of darts and the strategies of football. It can be played in sports bars, at tailgate events, as league tournaments, or as a leisure activity in the comfort of your home. If you would like to check out their officially licensed collegiate dartboards, go to footballdarts.com. You can see if you're watching the show, you can see their beautiful work right there on the screen over my ugly face. And if you play FSA and you're in a bowl game that is sponsored by Football Darts, you might get you a pretty little dartboard like that. And we'd also like to thank our other sponsors, QB54. They support the Arm and Leg League, Nature Coast Tailgating, Finger Lakes Mercantile, Cranky Veteran Candle Company, Southern Siren Sugar Scrub, Deep South Creations, and of course the Recasts, who are the official music of FSA. Back to you, Brad.
Alrighty. So we have some news to talk about. Like I said, football was played. There was a game.
Yeah.
There was no Dak. There was no Big Ben. There was a Mason Rudolph-y. There was a Dwayne Haskins, Kalen Ballage touchdown.
Ooh.
Catch the Bellagio.
Hashtag Caleb Lodge. Hashtag Najee Harris had one good run where he carried half of the Cowboys defense.
So
That's
he
not
needs
saying a lot. It's the
averaged
Cowboys
about 3
defense.
yards. Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about
the preseason. What do you got to take about from these week 1 preseason games? Anything?
nothing really.
I
They
care.
played what a series apiece, maybe.
Well,
Like the
Claypool
starters.
played until he caught that big pass and he fell on the ball and he kind of got the wind knocked out of him. And they're like, "All right, get out. You're good."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you have to slow your boy Micah Parsons down there, Eric. He's over there he had 10 tackles before halftime. We're like, hey, bud,
And
this
a
is
fumble
all fame
recovery.
game. Like, hey.
He's a good run stuffer.
I think it's good because there's 90-man rosters right now. It's good for those guys who are trying to make the team. I think that's what this is really about. And as a football purist, I really do. I can appreciate that sense. But as far as from like an excitement standpoint, things like that, I don't care as much. But I do. I think it's good for those guys, man. There's some guys really working their butts off trying to get it done. So I can appreciate that.
This time last year, we had no football. We didn't even know football was going to get played. We were
That's
doing the
true.
show saying, if it happens, what are we going to
That's
do?
true.
So it is that first little check mark to games have been played. All right. So I guess we're getting closer. What other news is there? There's more on the Carson Wentz. So last week when we came live, Carson Wentz's news had just broke about his foot. The Colts have came out and said he'll be back sooner rather than later, but still no timeline with that. I don't know what that means.
Means you're not getting Nick Foles. That's what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Then the reports come out that Phillip Rivers may come out of retirement.
Stop. But he said towards the end of the season, like after his
when high school
after his
season's
high
over.
school season's over.
That's right, because he's a high school football coach in Alabama now. So
That's his dream. That was his dream job.
Yeah.
Boy. Well, I think
What do you
he's
got- what do you got for
realizing that
Carson
he's got 9 kids at home, and he's like, I don't want to spend time with all these kids. It's probably-
What do y'all think about Carson Wentz? So let's be honest here. Let's talk about Carson Wentz in the fantasy aspect. Is he there week 1?
No.
I don't think so. No. They said sooner rather than later, but they initially said 5 to 12 weeks, which is a crazy weird timetable for return. I understand.
Well, five would get him just out of preseason.
Could you imagine if you hired a contractor to renovate your kitchen and you're like, we'll get it done within 5 to 12 weeks? You're like, what?
Right.
So a month or 3 months to get my kitchen done? Like, what?
Yeah. I guess
No, it's terrible.
reading the reports, the first 2 weeks, they have to like let the suture heal and like, just basic stuff. And then they can start kind of trying to do rehab and things like that. But he had a bone removed from his foot. And so did Quentin Nelson, which is also not good for this team. It's very scary. So arguably the best guard in football. It's very bad for this offense that Carson Wentz is not there. And if they play Jacob Eason
Do they add?
and they don't have what's that?
Do they add a quarterback?
No. I don't think they do. Who are you
I
going
don't
to add?
think-
Mitch? Go get Mr. Trubisky?
Buffalo.
Marcus
give
Mariota?
him cheap.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of guys, especially now with the COVID climate still happening, that they want to keep their backup quarterbacks, and it makes sense. I mean, you saw last year whenever Patrick Mahomes got hurt, they had to bring in their guy Chad Henne, and he won him a playoff game against the Browns. So it makes sense to me why you wouldn't want to give your backups up. And the Bears would be the team best position to give one up, but I don't see that happening.
Somebody said Nick Foles getting traded to the Colts to take over for Carson Wentz is just full circle.
I don't man, if they did that to him, I think that would just like break him. Like that would just ruin his psyche forever. If they bring in a guy, he's got to be a definitive backup. A Mariota, a Trubisky, maybe a Minshew, something like that. It can't be a guy that can take his job.
Minshew's trying to win. He's trying to win first string job right now in Jacksonville.
I know he
Minshew
is.
only won one game last year, and we all know who he beat. The Colts.
Well, there you go. He's in the division though, and that's a tough trade anyway. So
Yeah, and he's so cheap. Why would Jacksonville?
yeah, that's a good point. Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Evening, MJ.
So yeah, that's the Carson Wentz news. It's something to follow. I don't know how much it really affects because I think unless you're in a 2 QB league, he probably wasn't going to be your every week starter.
No, I think it's the larger team effect. It's going to affect the running game. It's going to affect it's going to affect these receivers big time. Jacob Eason was a 4th round pick, which isn't terrible.
Brady was a 6th.
Well, Dak was a 4th. he could be. I mean, he could be one of those guys, but you have no idea what you have in him until we start seeing him play in games. And again, you have no idea when Wentz is going to come back. So
it's not
the second and third order effects on the team are what really make me nervous. And we'll talk about that later when we get to my man crush.
Oh, your man crush. Oh man, I'm so excited.
You do have crushes for sure.
Any other new? James Washington is asking for a trade. I think this is just more of the Pittsburgh drama.
Yeah, he's kind of gotten pushed out of that offense since Claypool kind of emerged last year. So it's Deontay Johnson, it's Juju, it's Washington. So I can understand him wanting to go someplace where he's going to play. I don't know who's going to want him. Who needs a third receiver? Oh, the Lions could use him. Sure, throw him in there with the plethora of second and third guys they have. So,
Justin Jefferson sprained AC joint. They said that he should be ready by the beginning of the season. It's still too early to tell, but that's not good.
Don't like that.
Our boy Josh Allen got paid. So does this mean Lamar and Baker now can line up for their paydays? Or
yes, that's all it means. Mm-hmm. Quarterback gets paid
$58 million for a 6-year deal.
150, 60 million guaranteed, something like that.
Yeah, good money. That's good money.
Nice. So we know he's going to be a bill for the next 6 years. So we know where he's at.
Well, do we?
Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
Do we?
Yep.
Carson Wentz. Yeah. Deshaun Watson.
Jared Goff.
Well, there was news that Deshaun Watson, that the Eagles and the Texans were getting close to a deal, and then all of a sudden the next day, we're not taking calls anymore. The Texans make absolutely no sense to me in any form or fashion.
I think they found something out. If there's a reason that the Eagles are getting close and the Texans have shut everything down, so they've discovered something. I think that they think now that he could be eligible to actually play this year based on some information they have. And they're going to try and get him to do that. So I seriously doubt that he sits out and he doesn't play. He's getting paid a lot of money. And if not, and if you sit out, then you start costing yourself money. So he's reported to camp and everything like that. So I think he's going to be – I think he might actually play this year. I don't know.
He's reported to camp, but he hasn't been at practice.
He hasn't been practicing since they went to pads, I don't think, right?
Yeah.
So –
all right, let's talk about that. We're talking about running backs today. Saquon Barkley, we've talked about not there, still in the pup. Who is the backup? Who is going to be the running back? Is it Javante Booker or Corey Clement? So Booker has been running with the first team, but reports are that Clement has looked better.
I don't care.
Ooh.
If you have Barkley and you need to handcuff a guy, right now you have to go with the guy that's getting the first team reps. I wouldn't. Clement looks better, but is he getting first team reps? If he's not, then go with Booker. If it flip flops, like say you pick up Booker this week and it flip flops and it's like, oh, Corey Clement's getting all the first team work now. Go drop Devin Booker and go get Corey Clement. You got to just check the news, see who's actually getting the first team reps, because that's really all that matters right now, I think.
All right, so we didn't talk about this, but the third wide receiver for the Vikings, Obi Johnson. What? Yep, he tore his ACL. I just bring this up because I think we all know Justin Jefferson is number one, but he has a sprained AC joint. Mm-hmm. Good old Great White Hope is only getting older. All right. Chad Beebe, though, is right there. Another little Great White Hope. Eric remembers him from his days of being a Cowboys fan and just watching. He remembers his dad. But so he has been running with it as a third wide receiver there. Anything to that, possibly as a streamer or something to look at?
I mean, sure, you can always take a flyer on a third guy if you think they're going to run 3 wide receiver sets a lot of the time. Go for it. If it's a Patriots team that just, paid major money for 2 tight ends, they're probably going to put them on the field a lot. Maybe only worry about the first 2 guys or those tight ends.
All right, Julio Jones. Ever since he exited Monday's practice session early, he has yet to be back to practice with the Tennessee Titans. Are you all nervous at all? Undisclosed injury.
He's always hurt.
I know, but this is a different team, and he ain't no spring chicken no more.
What do you think, Josh?
I think this is probably, they said it was a minor injury, so I'm not too worried about it. But Julio, he's always going to be nicked up, banged up. He'll still play, I think he'll still play 12 games, 13 games this season, which will be pretty fine.
Do you worry about the timing at all?
No.
New offense, new scheme. He's never been in a run-first offense like this.
I'm not worried about it. It's Julio.
Okay.
I think he'll be
I just worry with him not having the timing down.
He's open 24/7, bro, like Waffle House.
He is. He's open 24/7 like Waffle House. Derrick Henry is carrying the ball 30 times. They only throw the ball 15 times. He only gets 4 targets, and he was open all 47 plays of the game. He's a wide receiver.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Waffle House.
Okay. He'll be okay.
He'll be fine.
All right. Are you guys ready to talk about running back rankings? Because we took too long to get into quarterback rankings.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go. I think we all have the same number 1.
Yeah, this week I think we do.
I don't know. Eric is squirrely.
But, so, Josh, who was the number 1 running back on your list?
For me,
because I know Eric is going to have something to say.
I went with Christian McCaffrey. That's not really a surprise there. I love what he brings to the table. I think he's had plenty of time to rest. I think he's going to be just fine, especially now they got Sam Darnold locked up for the next 2 years. This is going to be an offense that's going to be humming. They got plenty of weapons this year. The offensive line is good. I'm not stressed about CMC carrying the load at all. They're going to do some things to alleviate it, so he might not get 1,000 and get all that work, but he's still going to be a really good fantasy option. He'll probably give you 15 games, and I'm okay with that. I think he's going to be really, really good. Best running back in all of football.
He is also my number 1.
He is also my number 1.
Eric, give it to him.
Yeah. All right. In 2019, he had 413 half PPR points, which is insane because the next best guy had 290. So
that's pretty good.
I didn't want to contradict myself from last week. You're chasing upside. You're taking CMC, the first running back overall. The case against him. He averaged 57 snaps a game last year when he was healthy. He's had 1,080 combined targets and carries in 4 years, in 51 games. It's 21 touches or 21 targets and rushes per game, at least.
Mm-hmm.
In 2019, he had 403 combined receptions and rushing attempts.
Yes.
And if you just count targets, so routes run, he had 429 targets and rushes combined. And I was looking at his snap numbers. In 2019, he had over 1,000 snaps. In 2018, he had over 900 and something snaps.
Mm-hmm.
He has had a tremendous workload. We talk about Derrick Henry. He's gonna fall off a cliff. He's touching the ball too much. He's running the ball too much. CMC's getting just as big of a workload, if not larger.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he only weighs 205 pounds. We talk about these smaller quarterbacks that we worry about, them getting injured because they run. He's a running back and he only weighs 205 pounds. So, yes, if in redraft you're chasing the upside, you're going to take him number 1 overall. But man, I'm worried that he burned really bright like those running backs of old, like Larry Johnson and Priest Holmes and guys like that. And he got too many touches too soon, and he's just gonna. I'm worried. Right. I'm a little worried, but I'm still gonna take him. It's redraft. It's 1 year. So
exactly.
Bite the bullet.
Exactly. You'll be fine. He's
real nervous though. Real nervous.
He's the best.
He's the best, but I do worry about the injuries because we'll talk about it later. Somehow he gets a free pass on his injuries, maybe because it was 1 year. We'll see.
It was just 1 year.
It was, and Brad, you've talked about it too.
Starts at 1 year.
Yeah,
and then it's 2 years.
And we'll see. And we'll see if it becomes
a trend. Like,
we'll see if it becomes.
Then he hits his wife, and he's Ray Rice.
Okay, so we thought that, and Dalvin Cook, he's been pretty good. I mean, we thought that he wasn't going to hold up, and he has. On the other hand, we thought Saquon Barkley's a machine.
Oh, you got a mouse in your pocket?
Okay,
there,
I didn't. I do have a mouse in my pocket, actually. His name is George. Now,
Algernon.
So Saquon, though, we thought, this guy's a machine. He's built to carry the load. The guy hasn't played a full season in 3 years. So I'm more hesitant to take a guy like Saquon. So if it comes down to him or Christian McCaffrey, of course I'm going to take. Christian McCaffrey.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, but we'll see this year what happens to him and how he breaks down. He has had a lot of workload, but
and also remember the year prior to last year's injury, there was the back concerns. He had the back.
Well, because he was carrying the whole team.
That is concerning because back injuries
so it's not just 1 year; it's 2 years.
He played through that.
He played through it.
But yeah, it's very worrisome to me. If I had the 1-1, I'm probably trying to trade out. I don't want it unless it's a super flex league and I can take like a Josh Allen, a Patty Mahomes. But
McCaffrey in the games he played last year was amazing.
Oh, he's a beast. Yeah,
exactly.
Like 25 points a game or something like that.
Yeah. So number 2, who do you have, Eric?
Alvin Kamara.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I went back the last 4 years and looked at the top 5 finishes in standard, half-point PPR, and full-point PPR. Alvin Kamara has never finished outside of the top 12. And the only reason he finished 12th in 2018 was because he only had 6 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. And Traquan's hurt. Michael Thomas is hurt. You got Adam Troutman. Guess what? Last time I checked, Taysom Hill can't throw a ball more than maybe 10 yards down the field.
No, he can.
It's pretty ugly because it hits like the rafters and stuff. So,
but he goes farther than 10 yards.
Yeah. So we're gonna get those RPOs going. We're gonna do those checkdowns. He's gonna get his 12 to 14 rushes a game. He's gonna get his 5 to 7 targets per game. He's gonna be super efficient, just like normal. He'll be fine.
Do you worry at all about the offense being different with no Drew Brees? I mean, let's be honest. Like this, it's a completely different signal caller.
This is going to be a run-first offense built now around. I said first I thought Jameis was going to get the job with all these banged-up receivers and stuff. No, I'm with Eric. I do think that it's going to be Taysom Hill, and they're going to give him and Kamara all the work.
Yes, so they are. But what we see with like a Drew Brees, an Aaron Rodgers, a Tom Brady, is they get to the line and they can make the proper checks. Do you see Taysom Hill getting to the line and saying, oh, he's running into a blitz. Let me check out of this. Let me check to a swing pass that's going to get Kamara into, or is he just going to go up through the line and run the play that's called? Because you got to think about that outside, not just Drew Brees dumping him off the ball, but getting him into the situation to win.
If I can figure it out on Madden, I think he can figure it out. He's getting paid millions of dollars. I'm pretty sure.
I think Sean Payton, I think between the games he had to play last year, plus now they're going to have camp, time to prep. They got preseason to work a few things out.
Oh, I don't doubt Alvin Kamara
he's
going to be a top. Yes.
I think he's going to run the play that's given to them. I think Sean Payton more often than not will put them in a position to succeed.
And
so
what I want to say is Alvin Kamara is probably a safer pick than Christian McCaffrey.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
81 catches a year. Give me my
easy.
Yep. All right. My number 2 is Dalvin Cook, though, just because he is. I mean, we can say Justin Jefferson, and we can say they have other offensive weapons, but Mike Zimmer wants to run the ball, and all he wants to do is run the ball. And Dalvin Cook is a beast, and he has been running the ball, and he is that red zone offense. And they're going to live or die by him. And Zimmer wants to, even if they ran the ball 40 times, he'd be like, man, we should have ran it 42.
Yeah.
So Dalvin Cook last year, just to help your argument, Brad, 64 attempts in the red zone, so inside the 20, 257 yards, 4 yards per attempt, 13 touchdowns. He's a great back when he's healthy.
Yeah. And I think it's just another year away from that injury, another year of being healthy.
If he would have played all 16 games last year, he would have been the number 1 running back in half-point scoring. And he only played 14 games, and he still finished 3rd. So you look at a guy like that, I mean, he's my 3rd running back on my list, Brad. Okay. So, I completely agree with you. I think he's a solid running back this season.
Yep. My 3rd is going to be Alvin Kamara. So, Eric, who's your 3rd?
Derrick Henry.
Okay. That's my 4th.
Oh.
Yep.
All right, go ahead. Explain yourself.
Derrick Henry is amazing. If we were playing in 2008, 2007, the Sean Alexander years, the 2004s, if we were playing standard still and PPR wasn't the new standard, Derrick Henry would be the 1-1 every year.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
easy.
FSA is half point PPR. So
Okay.
That's what I'm looking at.
That's why I put him as high as I did.
And that means half the time he ain't getting half as many points as everybody else.
He doesn't need it. All right, so hang on. For Derrick Henry, we talk about chasing volume. Volume's king. Get the guy that gets the most opportunities. Well, guess what? 2018, 215 carries. 2019, 303 carries. Last year, 378 carries. 1,000 yards, 1,500 yards, 2,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, 16 touchdowns, 17 touchdowns. Why not? Why would you not take Derrick Henry? This guy's a monster. Now, granted, you're probably drafting him in half-point PPR. You're probably drafting him at his ceiling. Last year, he finished second. Year before that, he finished third. Yeah. So you're probably drafting him at his ceiling, but you're probably going to get that out of him because he's a statue and he's going to run people over, and he gets better as the game goes on, and it's better as the year goes on. And now they have, even if Julio Jones is out there as a decoy, that's one more piece that they have to account for that opens up more running lanes for him.
He's so big.
He's a monster. He's just a monster.
So huge.
So plus he gets a ton of red zone opportunity as well. Tied for with Dalvin Cook last year for 64 attempts in the red zone, and he had 13 touchdowns as well. So
and there's literally nobody behind him.
Nope, nobody's taking his job. That's for sure.
There's nobody coming in to spell him. There's nobody like Alvin Kamara when he comes out. Latavius Murray. We've seen Latavius Murray be good when Kamara misses games. We've seen Madison show flashes.
Yeah. Interesting thing about Derrick Henry is he gets spelled a lot. So I was looking at his snap numbers, and he's usually not up over like 700.
You say spelled, but
not spelled. They don't run as many plays, right? They have a really hyper-efficient offense. But he's not on the field as much. Yeah, he's not on the field as much, like 700 and something snaps last year.
He's touching the ball.
Oh, yeah. And he's destroying people as he does it. It's great. Love Derrick Henry.
All right. Josh, who did you have at 3?
I had Dalvin Cook at 3.
Okay. And then Eric had that. I had Kamara at 3. My 4 is Derrick Henry. Josh, who is your 4?
Zeke, baby. Zoltan.
Okay.
Zeke.
He's washed. He's old. He's 27 now, so he's done.
Oh, yeah, he's done. Okay.
Take him out to the retirement home.
Well, that's not exactly.
Put him up there with Mural from Courage the Cowardly Dog.
He hasn't even entered his physical prime yet.
He's 26, not 27.
He'll turn 27 this year.
No, actually he won't, because he literally just turned 26 last month. So let's calm down.
A year from now, he will be 27.
That's how math works. Yeah, I understand that. No, that's how birthdays go. No, I think Zeke's going to be great. The only thing that hurt him last year is his lack of touchdowns. He had only 6 touchdowns last year. Whenever Zach went out, or Dak, excuse me, that's really what changed everything. He still finished 11th last season, so it's not like Zeke was a slouch. 11th in half-point scoring. And I think that, there's going to be other guys that he's going to jump this year. He's going to jump James Robinson. He's going to jump David Montgomery. He's going to be right up there in this top 4, top 5 again. I don't see any reason why he couldn't be. Even when the line is bad, Zeke is still an important part of that offense. They have more weapons now than they've ever had with all the great wide receivers. I expect the tight end to take a jump this year, and he'll be effective. It just basically boils down to Dak. Is Dak going to be healthy enough to get through the season? And I am concerned right now because they have talked about they actually reached out to the Texas Rangers about Dak's injury.
Oh,
this is something. Yeah, it's something I found
because it's
out.
like a pitching injury kind of type.
Yeah,
thing?
it's almost like a breakdown of his shoulder, and that is a concern. Even Troy Aikman, who's kind of plugged in, they asked him about it, and he said, "Yeah, there's something more going on there than what we're being privy to." So I'm a little concerned about
Troy Aikman, who's sort of plugged in, who got drafted as a pitcher.
Yeah, but he's plugged into the Cowboys, is what I mean.
No, he's plugged into the Cowboys, but he's also knows about baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not. I mean, a lot of people get drafted in baseball. You could get drafted in baseball.
No, I can't.
No, yeah, they have so many rounds. No, they have so many rounds that
Josh,
you can actually.
Do you remember that student we had that said that he was drafted?
Yeah, he lied. He lied, but you actually could.
So not everybody can be drafted.
That's great. That's hilarious.
So they just keep going. But anyway, what I'm saying is, there's something going on with Dak. Hopefully we get some more clarity before the season comes up, because if Dak's not there, Zeke's not the same guy, and you should bump him down your boards. And I would absolutely take Derrick Henry above him if Dak is not going to be available to go for the first month of the season.
I worry about Mike McCarthy killing offenses too.
He does suck.
Life.
Yeah.
But it's Eric's team. It's Eric's team, Give some hope.
Yeah. Don't remind
That was your
me.
4? That was your 4?
That was my 4. Zeke.
Yep.
Who was your 4?
Zeke is my 4 as well.
Okay.
Like Josh said, finished 11th last year, finished 4th the year before that in half-point PPR, 5th the year before that in half-point PPR, averaging 70-something targets per year the last couple of years. He gets plenty of volume. If Dak's there, or if Dak's there, that's a huge difference maker. I think as long as he's healthy this year, and he seems like I know it's just training camp stuff, but he's supposedly in the best shape of his life. He's got a lot of pop. He's, all that fun stuff. So
A lot of pop.
I like Zeke. I like his upside.
Hopefully nothing's popping.
Plenty
in
of volume.
Is all I'm saying.
No,
He'll be
he's
okay.
10 pounds lighter. He's in the best shape he's ever been in.
He'll
They
be
say
fine.
that. Yeah, best shape
I
ever.
say that every time before somebody gets hurt. All righty, my number 5.
That's not true. I've been hurt plenty of times, and no one ever said I was in the best shape.
Rounds of shape. I'm just saying. All righty, my number 5 is Jonathan Taylor, and so
Ooh.
the upside from last year. Eric loves him. I know. Put
I
him
have a
one
man
spot above
crush on
Zeke.
him, but I am worried now
You want to make
Why are
it
you
up.
worried? Because he doesn't have a quarterback?
because
We
Wentz
just
is
talked about
gone.
why Alvin Kamara is going to be gone. Great, because he doesn't have a quarterback.
He's got a running quarterback that will feed him the ball more than
We
likely.
don't know. We don't know what Jacob Eason is.
We know what
All right.
Jacob Eason is.
We
don't.
don't. We don't
don't.
really.
We didn't know who Thomas Brady was when he came out.
Stop. Stop.
It is worrisome
Don't know.
though that he might see 8 men in the box a lot.
Okay.
That's worrisome.
He's got Frank Reich, who's going to set him up for success.
Oh, you're preaching to the choir, man. I hope so.
Jonathan Taylor's hands were way better last year. We were like, he can't catch the ball. He's terrible. Wasn't that terrible, and they gave him opportunities. It wasn't a Josh Jacobs situation where they were like, "Well, you might be good, you might be bad, but we'll never know because we're never going to find out." So, in a half-point setting, I like Jonathan Taylor. I don't see Naheem Hines taking it from him. I don't see Marlon Mack coming back from that Achilles injury. Yeah. I like Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
I think
that's
they're
fine.
going to prove
I like
why they
JT
have their
too.
stuff. Yes, I do worry that a lot of his stuff came against bad defenses towards the end of the year, but they're still going to play bad defenses this year.
The other thing that really worries me is that Quentin Nelson had basically the same entry that Carson Wentz did, and he's 5 to 12 weeks. Now, granted, their backup guard is probably much better than the drop off from Wentz to Jacob Eason, but he still worries me a little bit. So
You guys just
I
told me
dropped
not
him
to
down a
worry
little
about
bit.
Zeke with his offensive line, so why would I worry about it?
Zeke's offensive line is good for the first at least 8 games, and then they fall apart. It's okay.
Supposedly.
They're a little long in the tooth. It's all right.
Eric, who do you have at number 5?
I have Dalvin Cook at number 5. And the only reason I have him that low is because he's played 4, 11, 14, and 14 games. Can you give me a 16-game season, bud? Just one. Just give me one. I'm sorry, 17. Give me 17 games.
Can the Vikings be in a playoff chase towards the end of the season? That is what I think has killed him these last couple of years.
Oh, that's fair because they've been out of it.
Like, I think that's another reason why McCaffrey didn't play a couple games towards the end of the year.
And I would agree with you there, too. And that's why the back injury isn't as concerning because he got a lot of rest last year. Because let's face it, they didn't bring him back because
they
didn't
were
need to.
like, look, let's be honest about what we
Yeah.
did. We gave him a lot of money. Similar things that happened with Dalvin Cook. Give him a lot of money. You got to play it smart.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm not worried about with Dalvin Cook was I think, yes, the ACL early in his career, way bad. Josh, who do you got there at the number 5? Is it
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry? Okay. That's one you haven't said yet. Okay.
Love
Next.
me some
All
Derrick
right.
Henry.
My number 6 is Zeke. You guys have talked him to death. He's on the Cowboys. They have really
Yeah.
bad defense. The only thing that scares me about him is them getting down, having the oopsies and the fumbles. He had a lot of fumbles last year. Turning the ball over like they did as a team, not just him, and getting in negative game scripts with that bad defense.
Yeah. But didn't you hear what I said?
He's in the best shape of his life.
Yeah. So the ball's just going to slip out because that muscle's just going to pop it out of there. Tiki Barber status.
Never been in better shape. I don't understand what you don't get about this.
Josh, who do you have at 6?
I have Nick Chubb at 6.
Ooh. Our first full-up timeshare.
On a points per game basis last year, minus the injuries, he was actually 5th best in half-point PPR.
So now injuries aren't a big deal. Let's push to do that. Why don't you figure out what you want to talk about here? You said injuries are a big deal? Not a big deal?
Well, Nick Chubb, he doesn't have a history of injuries. He's been injured one time.
Didn't he come in the league injured?
No, that was his running mate, Sony Michel.
No,
didn't his knee explode in college? I'm pretty sure.
That was Sony Michel, not Nick Chubb.
Didn't Nick Chubb the year prior to the Sony Michel big game? Didn't he have it? Yes.
No.
After Gurley, before the next one.
I don't know. They all have knees blow.
Georgia running back just blow knees out.
But Nick Chubb has been healthy. He's been good. I'm not concerned with what he does at all. We know this is a run-first team. Even if Kareem Hunt is there, they're going to get plenty of work. Like I said, he finished enough points per game to be the 5th best running back in half points per PPR. He was still top 10, and he only played in 12 games last year. So I'm not worried about Nick Chubb. I think that he's going to be just fine right here. Even at 6, I like his upside, and I think this is going to be about where he finishes. I think you can feel safe and good about your choices with him. Because I had to pick between him and the next guy that I have on my list, and I like Nick Chubb better. I think he's going to be healthier. So injuries do play a factor, Brad.
All right. Eric, you made a big –
I made those faces because I Googled Nick Chubb knee injury, Georgia, real quick. It was bad. It was not good. Okay. Yes, he definitely hurt his knee in college coming into the league.
There was a year prior to his last year, I think.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah. But he didn't really play that following year at Georgia, right? And he still but he still had decent draft stock, and
he was
doing
backing
fine.
up Michelle. Well, he was kind of backing up.
Yeah.
But yes.
He's a beast. I love Nick Chubb. I didn't put him as high as you, but he's great. Yeah, absolutely.
Who do you have at are we at 6?
6, yes.
Yep.
I have Aaron Jones at 6.
Ooh, Aaron Jones, Aaron.
So he finished 5th in half-point PPR this past year, and 2nd the year before that in half-point PPR. The year before that, 23rd, but he didn't really get a lot of volume that year. He didn't really get like anywhere close to 200 carries. So if he gets around 200 carries, very efficient. That offense was insanely good in the red zone last year. And I don't think, even if they, we hear about regression all the time. We talked about it last year, which I'm over that crap. So that offense is going to put up points. Aaron Rodgers is very good. He's going to make sure. Aaron Jones is very good. Davante Adams is very good. Those guys are going to score points. I like Aaron Jones. He's not going to play probably 16 games, 17 games. Probably play like Dalvin Cook, 15, 14, somewhere around there. But he has played 16 games before. But he gets a good amount of volume. Jamal Williams is gone now, so he should get some more passing down work. And I don't think A.J. Dillon is going to take a lot of the first down work from him because he's Aaron's boy. So
Aaron does have some pull this year, doesn't he?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Randall Cobb's taking all that work away. I'm just saying.
Get out of here. Get your Randall Cobb's taken off. Oh, man.
All right. So we're moving on to number 7.
Yeah,
Josh, you kind of alluded to this when you brought up Nick Chubb. You said the next guy. Who did you have at 7?
Saquon.
Oh, okay. Our first Saquon.
Going with Saquon. Right. I still like his upside. You can't argue with that.
It's just when he's on the field.
Will he be healthy? They're talking about now week 3 he might return. They're taking it slow with him, and that's kind of the problem. Is he going to be healthy? If he comes back week 3 and they're saying, hey, everything's on track for him to be there week 2, week 3, I feel good about that. I'm okay with it. But if this thing starts slipping, I prefer my guys to be healthy going into the season, obviously. But I feel like they're going to try and do things right with him. I'm okay taking him here, but it's still one of those things where you're kind of chasing upside a little bit.
Yes. I forgot to mention this since you brought up the Giants and their injury history. Kenny Golladay, hamstring, expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks. I'm just saying,
Woof. Gross.
Woof. Not of Wall Street. Who do you have at the number 7 position there, Eric?
I have Nick Chubb at number 7.
Okay.
Right.
My number 7. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
No, I was going to move on, so finish your point.
Oh,
Sorry.
well, I kept flip-flopping between him and Jonathan Taylor is my next guy. And I couldn't decide. I was like, man. But then the Carson Wentz injury, then the Quentin Nelson injury, and I'm like, ugh. So at least I know that Baker can keep our defense honest. And Nick Chubb, man, he's so efficient. 5.2 yards, no less than 5 yards an attempt in any season. And no less than 8 touchdowns rushing.
He's very good at football.
He's great. The only reason he really gets knocked down for me is because of the Kareem Hunt tax. Other than that, I'd be like, put him at 5, put him at 4. So
love him. Love him.
He's great.
All right, my number 7 is Austin Eckler.
Okay.
All right.
I can see that.
Last year, banged up most of the year. Even when he played, wasn't really healthy. Okay? No other running back there that I'm worried about taking any part of his job.
Absolutely not.
No tight end there of note. Jared Cook, we said what we want about him. He's like 85 years old. Exactly. So who's Justin Herbert dumping the ball off to?
Yeah.
It's going to be Austin Eckler.
Did you see Austin's?
So 2020, his year where he played 16 full games, he had 92 receptions, for 992 yards. He also carried the ball for 132 carries. And if I remember correctly, Melvin Gordon was there at that time.
Mm-hmm.
He was. Yeah.
So last year he only played 10 games, still carried the ball 116 times, and had 54 catches.
Yeah.
So you give me a full season, Austin Eckler. I think with the PPR numbers, the catching, even if it's half, and the Chargers offense making a step forward, helps out a lot.
Yeah. No. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good call, man.
Shuffles.
He was running back 6 and half-point PPR in 2019. So you can't deny the numbers.
Austin Eckler. All right.
Yep. And then go ahead, Eric, with your number 8.
Jonathan Taylor, number 8.
Me too.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas, huh?
Yeah, I got a huge man crush on him. He's a freak of nature. He's got a great offensive line, even with Quentin Nelson.
He's a
that's
90s
hurt.
Heartthrob, you know?
And he'll get it done, I think. I think he'll get a lot of volume too, because I think you're not really going to be able to play Naheem Hines if you're seeing defenses stacking the box, right? And he's good at catching the ball. 40 targets last year, 36 receptions. Not a lot of dropsies. Does quite well catching the ball out of the backfield. And man, when he gets going downhill, just get out of the way. Because you linebackers, you're missing, or he's already by you. And if you're a safety and you're going to get in front of him, you're going to get run over. Sorry.
Truck City.
Yep, he's going to break off some big ones.
I love that 90s Heartthrob.
Josh, who do you got at the number 8 position?
I got JTT, dude.
All right. I like
Home improvement, baby. Let's go.
My
I'll
number
be
8
home
is
in
Aaron
time for
Jones.
Christmas. Let's go.
My number 8 is Aaron Jones. I mean, you tell me Aaron Jones might get some more PPR work or might get some more receptions this year.
Yeah.
We like
and Aaron
that.
Rodgers is going to be there this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Cat fell from the ceiling, I guess. I don't know what's happening there.
The roof's caving in on Brad.
Oh,
his wife finally passed out from all the wine. She just hit the floor like.
Oh, we'll talk about that off the air. Talk about her flight that she finally got on. All right, my number 9 is Nick Chubb. You know, it's Nick Chubb. He's really good.
We love
Eric,
him.
who do you have at number 9?
I have Austin Eckler at 9.
Just saying.
He's getting the ball. Him and Keenan Allen. That's it. There's your weapons right there, boys. So
Well, they went to Jared.
you say that all the time.
Wow, hostility there. Dang.
Yep. No, he'll get plenty of targets.
Who's your number 9?
Hey, Aaron.
Cool. We've talked about him. Who's your number 10, though, Josh?
Oh, this one's going to be a shocker for you guys. CEH, Clyde the Glide. Boom, Clyde Drexler. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That's what I went with. I I love his potential. I know that you guys aren't quite sold on him. He only finished 22nd last year, but I don't think that they really understood how to use him properly. They were just trying to run and gun all year, throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball. They were getting up on people. I think now that this year, settling a little bit,
that he got 0 carries inside the 5-yard line once Le'Veon Bell was there, and he only had 2 carries prior to that, and he got stuffed on both of them.
No, I'm not worried about that.
I think my biggest fear with you,
because it's half PPR. That's why. So my thing is that I look at the guys below him and I'm like, okay, do I want him, who I feel really good about, or do I want some of these other guys? And right now, you've mentioned one of the guys that I haven't said yet, and that was Eckler, who I have below him. But after looking at all the other names, I'm like, I want CEH. I'm not going to forget his upside and what he came into the league with. No, absolutely not. I love Clyde. Number 10, baby. 10.
Okay. Who do you have at 10, Eric?
I have Saquon Barkley at 10.
Okay.
Very difficult to push him out of the top 10.
Yeah.
He's my 11 because his injuries seem to be long period injuries, right?
Yeah.
And I don't feel like they're going to rush him back from the ACL. But my number 10, though, is going to be a little surprising. Christopher Carson.
Ooh.
That is a surprise.
Why? Because let's go over since 2018 in PPR, he was the 16th running back. Only played 14 games. 15 games in 2019, 12th running back overall. Last year, only 12 games, was the 19th in PPR. If he just gets a couple more games, he's the only one there. Rashad Penny's still he's
Is he hurt again? Penny?
But he still can't come back from injury.
Yeah.
I got DJ Dallas, which he hasn't done nothing. Chris Carson is the guy there. He's what they need at the running back. Pete Carroll wants to run the ball.
He got paid.
So they're using him. Yes. So give me some Chris Carson. I know it seems a little high. That's probably 10 is probably the best he'll be. But if we could get 16 games in the 17-game season out of Chris Carson, and the difference is the Seahawks are going to be trying to fight for the playoffs, right? They always are. They're right there in the wild card or in the division race every year. So they're going to try to push him and play him in those nasty winter days up in Seattle when it's just rainy and yucky and
yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Chris Carson. You didn't see that coming at all. Like I said, number 11 for me is Saquon Barkley. Who do you have at number 11, Eric?
I have Antonio Gibson at 11.
Oh.
So that defense is extremely good. I think they're going to get a lot of turnovers. I think this offense is going to have a lot of opportunities. I think Gibson is impressing at camp. We've heard that he's over that foot injury. Seems like he does not have any issues with it now. And he finished 12th last year. And I get it. He did a lot of that against some bad defenses. But guess what? He gets to play those historically bad defenses again this year. Another year in the offense. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll impress. And I think he'll get more third down passing work than Smooches. Well, not more than Smooches, but he'll get more than what he did last year versus what? Because McKissick was like the most targeted running back in the league last year, which is insane to me. But yeah, I like Gibson's upside there at 11.
Josh, who do you have at 11? I know you just muted. That's perfect.
It's okay. I have Antonio, or sorry, not Antonio Gibson. I have Austin Eckler. So
Austin Eckler at 11. All right, 12. Josh, who you got before you mute yourself again?
I'm not going to mute myself again. Good to go. Number 12, I have Antonio Gibson for a lot of the same reasons that Eric just talked about.
Me too. He's 12. I wanted to keep him in the running back one numbers, but I couldn't put him above guys that have hung out there for years.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, who do you have at 12?
I have J.K. Dobbins at 12.
Okay.
I like him I actually like him more than Gibson. He's just probably not going to see the passing volume that Gibson will. The red zone work, though, is what I hope to see him. Now that Ingram's gone, he doesn't have to split carries with him. I know Gus Edwards got paid, but it was like 2 years, $12 million. It's really not that much. He's not going to take a ton of it. I think he'll see 200 carries this year, and he got a decent number of receptions last year.
170 than 200, but yes.
Could be. But even that's a bump up from last year. He only got like 125 last year. So, and they run more than anybody else in the league. So, yeah.
And if
I like
anything happens to Lamar Jackson getting COVID again, I see them changing the offense around and maybe featuring him as a back.
Sure.
My number was at 12. Lucky number 13, Eric. Who you got?
David Montgomery.
Ooh, okay.
So, I don't think Tariq Cohen had that one really good year, right?
What about Damian?
I'm not worried about him. I think he's a depth piece there. I don't think he's going to take anything away from David Montgomery.
Okay.
Word out of camp is that they want to get him 20 touches a game. Do I think he'll finish as high as what?
Matt
before?
Nagy lies.
Well, yeah, he does. But he finished, what, 4th last year in PPR?
Yes.
Where did he finish in half?
I don't know. But
I'm in the wrong season.
It was really good.
Anyway, I think he's really good. I think he'll be fine. I just bumped him down a bit because of the Tariq Cohen stuff, so he'll probably lose out on some of that receiving work and third down work. So I think that'll hurt him. Could hurt him a little bit in the red zone now that they have, like, if Cole Kmet comes on or, say, Fields starts playing and he starts getting RPOs and he starts taking away some of that red zone work. So maybe not as many touchdowns, but I think he can finish in the top 15. So I think 13 is a fine number for him.
Yep. Josh, who do you have at 13?
I have Najee Harris.
Ooh.
Way too high.
I agree. Too high.
No offensive line is what scares me. But
Yeah.
I agree. It's encouraging the fact that they got him in there last night. They want him to play. I think he didn't do terrible last night either, based on what I saw. And granted, this is all hearsay. I think that they're going to make a concerted effort to be better in the running attack this year. So I feel okay with him just outside of that. I think he's going to be an RB2. He might not be as high as 13, but pretty safe because he's the clear-cut guy there.
the things that worry my bad offensive line in a division with good defenses, it's just Ben's health really scares me. My number 13 going to be a big-time surprise here. He was an RB1 last year. Mike Davis. Going down to Atlanta, new coach in Atlanta, who was just coaching a guy by the name of Derrick Henry for a few years and had Derrick Henry have the best seasons of his career.
Pretty good.
Heard of him.
So I like Mike Davis just outside of that running back one numbers. I think he'll be great. He filled in the Christian McCaffrey role just fine, so he can do all three phases of the game in Atlanta with a Matt Ryan, with a Calvin Ridley, with the second coming of Jesus at tight end, Kyle Pitts.
No, he's very good.
We have no idea if he's good.
No, but we know we think he's good. The hype is good on him.
He was good in college. We think.
But I just like Mike Davis. I like Mike Davis here. And the thing is, he's getting drafted nowhere near this.
No, he's a
ADP
great value. Fantastic
Yeah.
value. Yep.
His ADP is 23. So
Sexy.
all right.
You know who
That's
else
what
was
Mike
good in
Davis
college? Christian Leitner.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and he was
who
a huge bust. So
Who was that Stanford running back after Christian McCaffrey?
Toby Gerhardt? No, that was before him.
No, Gerhardt, and then
Gerhardt was before him.
Bryce Love.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was one.
Yeah,
All right, moving on. Number 14, I have CEH at 14. It's a Kansas City offense. He's really, really
you guys
good.
are so much higher on him than me. Okay.
Who do you have 14, Eric?
I have Chris Carson at 14.
Okay, good.
Let's go.
Yes.
Good man.
That's right. If you put
Yeah, I tried to split the difference, kind of looking at his finishes. I was like, all right, so running back 1, all right, 19, 16. I was like, but I was looking at depth charts and I'm just like, ugh, who are these people? Like platoon. I was like, all right, he's the guy. Let's throw him in here at 14.
Yep. Who do you have at 14, Josh?
Just kidding. Dobbins. JK.
Nice.
I think I have Dobbins way lower on mine just because I was so high on him last year. I'm like,
He bit you. He got you.
no, he didn't bite me. He didn't even hurt me. Like, he was good for me. It's just like, let's push it down. Let's not don't let the love fest just go off. Just
Bury it.
Oh no, let it flow, man. Let it out.
Let it like a soda and just shake it. And just pop that top when it's time. And it's just like, champagne bottles flying. But all right, who do you have at 15? I have Joe Mixon at 15, and I do not feel good about that at all.
Dude,
I have
that's
Mixon
right.
at 15 too.
Do all three of you guys have Mixon at 15?
Makes me want to throw up too, real bad.
Yes.
I don't know what to do. Like I keep
it.
hearing Samaje Perine's the number one backup behind him. I'm like, I don't like that either. Like,
No,
so he is the best back there.
Unfortunately, they didn't upgrade that offensive line, but he stands to see a lot of volume. So you're chasing that upside. You're chasing that 2-3 years ago Joe Mixon, and hopefully you see it. He's still young too. He's still really young.
Yeah. Do you guys worry about the reports that Joe Burrow is having some mental blocks from the injury, getting over the injury? There's been some reports.
Oh, mental blocks.
Mental blocks.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Like the way he's playing, you can tell that he's a little more protected.
Can't imagine why.
I mean, I think that's normal. But Brady did the same thing when he came back from his knee injury.
Absolutely.
It's the same reason that Dak has a hurt shoulder right now is because he's overcompensating for that leg. Probably is afraid to give it full weight and everything. Like, I think that's normal, dude.
So with that being said, with the wide receiving options they have there, I could still see them trying to establish a run game.
Yes,
not
I agree.
To do what they did last year with Joe Burrow, not to have him drop back 45 times.
No, they can't do that. They'll get him killed. No, I agree with you 100%, Brad. They're going to have to establish a run, or if they can't run the ball effectively, then go to very short, get the ball out of his hands very quickly. If you have to, if your first read's not there, dump it to Joe. Is what I think they'll do.
I want to know how do we do this? How do we all have the number 1 running back the same in the 15?
I don't know.
We've got a lot in between here, and somehow we all hit.
I love that we don't talk about it before the show because we get surprised like this, and it makes for fun conversation.
Well, I thought Josh he's not even an RB2.
Yeah.
But you'd go back to the depth chart, right? Like,
yeah,
you do. Yeah, I was looking at them; they're terrible.
I don't like Joe Mixon, but who's gonna take
the guy?
it from him?
Yeah, now that Gio's gone, there's really nobody there to take it.
What is it?
The
Second Amendment thumpers, come take it. That's
my number 16 is David Montgomery. Eric, you talked about it. Like, I like him right there at 16. I don't like him too much higher. I think he'll be a good RB2. He'll have some good games, but I don't think they're going to be week winning games ever. He's going to accumulate a lot of stats as an RB2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who do you have at 16, Josh?
Carr, son. Chris Carson.
Oh. I was like, David
Carr? He's a quarterback.
I got the Carr, son. No, I got Chris Carson. I mean, he's still the guy up there in Seattle.
I know. I can't believe you put him below Joe Mixon.
That was tough, bud.
Eric, who do you have at the 16th position in your running back rankings?
I have DeAndre Swift at 16.
Because you love him.
Yeah, you're loving
him. You can't be blinded. You're like, sound like
I'm not blinded. He finished 17th last year.
You're so blind.
So I have a little bit higher than that. I know everybody's saying Jamal Williams is the A back or whatever.
No, Jamal Williams is the back there.
Okay. So as far as pass catching goes, other than TJ Hawkinson, he's the best pass catcher on that team. Period.
Quintez Cephas?
Blasphemy. You pipe down.
Like saying that name.
No, I know. It's right. It's fun, right? Rashard Perriman. Yeah. Quintez Cephas. Yeah. That's great.
Perriman won me a championship. I'm just saying.
And I think they're also, they're going to mirror their coach and they're going to run the ball a lot. Yeah, I know you beat Josh that year. It's great.
Biting kneecaps.
No. So I think they're going to run the ball a lot. I think you're going to see a lot of volume for Swift and Williams. I think they'll both get a good chunk of usage. So.
All right. There's a couple more names I haven't heard yet. That's why I'm still going with this a little bit. I want to hear where we have them. Who did you give your 16, Josh?
My 16? No, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm on 17. Yeah, I'm on 17.
17. I have J.K. Dobbins. I like him a lot, but there's going to be a big-time running back committee there. He will have some big games. I just don't think they'll be there every week for you. He'll feel more like an RB2 week in, week out than an RB1. Josh, who do you have at 17?
I'm going with the second half of Thunder and Lightning here, boys. I'm going with Lightning. Kareem the Dream Hunt.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, he's just even with the faith that I have in Nick Chubb, they still use Kareem Hunt enough to make him a solid RB2. It was like that even before last year whenever Nick Chubb got hurt.
Yeah, but after Nick Chubb came back, it wasn't as much.
Yeah.
No, but I'm not expecting him to be an RB1 and give me that kind of play over time, but a solid RB2. That's what he is.
Yeah.
And I would rather deal with that over some of these other guys.
I think we're missing some names, though. I think we're bringing up him and missing some names. And I even said these names. Like, these are dudes that I'm probably need to move up on rankings when I'm looking at them now. But who do you have at 17, Eric?
I have CEH at 17.
Okay. And we've talked CEH.
Yeah. His red zone stuff is very worrisome, especially when you look at Kelsey's usage in the red zone and Tyreek Hill's usage in the red zone.
And the way they do some weird stuff in the red zone just to make stuff happen.
Yeah. His yards per carry and stuff, he's smaller. He just doesn't convert there. It worries me.
Who do you have at the 18th there, Eric?
I have Naji Harris there at 18. Okay. I just think he's going to see a ton of volume.
Who do you have at 18?
Come on, dude. I got David Montgomery.
Okay. David Montgomery, we talked about him. I have Miles Sanders at 18.
He's my next guy.
Okay.
He's my 19. Yep.
So I have Miles Sanders there. It just, if Jalen Hurts stays the quarterback there, they did some good things in those few games they played last year. If it ends up being Deshaun Watson, I mean, okay, that doesn't make it worse for him. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah.
I do worry about some of the stuff in camp, but then again, I don't know. Just camp rumors saying that Boston Scott's almost out-touched him. I'm like, but last year they overworked Sanders in the preseason and he came in hurt. Mm-hmm. So this year, are they just saying he's a running back? We don't need to work him that much in the offseason. Run that way, bud.
Yeah. It's just they didn't address that offensive line really. And now Devonta Smith's hurt. Jalen Reagor's not really playing well. He's got stuff going on outside of football that's really messing him up at camp.
They're going to run it.
Are they going to do it effectively, though?
You said the Saints are going to run it all over the place.
Yeah, but I like Sean Payton a lot more than whoever the coach. Who's the coach for the Eagles now?
Exactly. You don't even know, so give him a chance.
Nick Sirianni.
Nick Sirianni, that's right. Yeah. He's a disciple of Peterson, I'm pretty sure. So, no, not Peterson. I can't remember now. I didn't know.
Of the Colts,
Frank Wright.
Frank Wright.
Okay.
Nick Sirianni. There you go.
So that bodes well, but man, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to run effectively behind that offensive line. Plus the defense is, and they're so snake bitten by injuries all the time. It's
100%
scary.
Did you give your 18th, Josh?
I did.
Okay, cool. 19, who you got, Josh?
Swiffer.
Okay, you got the Swiffer sweep picker upper?
Yep.
Who do you have there, Eric, at the 19th position?
I have Miles Sanders at 19.
Okay.
Carry-on's going to take all that work.
I have a guy who last year was drafted as an RB1. Last year drafted as an RB1. Finished as an RB2. Half PPR makes him even more tastier than full PPR. Josh Jacobs, Jingleheimer, Smith.
He's next.
The fact that some of the names I've said above him, I'm like, why in half PPR would I take these dudes above him? Like, why am I going to take Miles Sanders over Josh Jacobs in half PPR? Joe Mixon. Like, do we really want to take Joe Mixon over Josh Jacobs in half PPR? I get it. He hurt us last year because we took him so early, but I think this is the overcorrect.
What about Kenyan Drake?
We took him as a top 8 when he probably should have been more of a 13, 14, 15.
Mm-hmm. What about Kenyan Drake, though?
No. Okay. Kenyan Drake ever won a running back room? No. He was a backup at Alabama. He was a backup in Arizona. He was a backup in Miami.
I like what you're saying.
Josh Jacobs gets a ton of work in the red zone still. 65 carries last year. More than Derrick Henry. More than Dalvin Cook. He's still great.
And that's why he's still valuable in half PPR because he doesn't get a lot of catches. He's less valuable in PPR, but I do agree with that he's good. He's a good running back. He's a really good running back, and he won some leagues last year for some people. So I like him. He's next on my list.
Oh, you have him at 20?
I have him at 20, yeah.
I have him at 20 as well.
Oh, do you both? You know who I have at number 20? Myles Gaskin.
And that's why I have at 21.
Interesting.
That's why I have at 21.
Okay. Because I'm taking all these dudes. Because I have DeAndre Swift and Najee Harris and Kareem Hunt coming up. But there was no way I could take running backs that outperformed DeAndre Swift over and take DeAndre Swift's going to make a jump, even though a new coaching staff added a different running back. and did not draft him and has nothing into him. Or Najee Harris, a running back who could be good. But I know Myles Gaskin, when he's healthy, is good. And Miami, look at that depth chart of Miami. Who's taking that job?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody.
Nope. Well, Salvin Ahmed was good in some limited work. No, he's probably not taking the job from him.
Eric,
exactly.
I'm just saying he's not taking the job, but he was good in the limited work he got.
Yeah.
He's good handcuff.
For a fun, who is your 24th running back, everybody? Your last RB2.
Miles Sanders.
Rojo.
Chase Edmonds.
Ugh.
I mean,
because it's the 24th. I think Chase Edmonds will finish as an RB2 somehow. And it ain't going to be pretty. It'll be a 4-touchdown game. Half-point game. It'll be a 6 it'll be just all over the place.
That's fair.
Did you guys rank ETN?
He was 23 for me.
I'm at 22. I have Myles Gaskins just after him.
I don't know what to do with Jacksonville.
That's fair. I agree. But I was just looking at the other ones and I'm just like, Ugh. So
I don't know what to do with Jacksonville.
I tell
that's
you.
That's my problem with ETN and James Robinson. I just don't know what to do with them.
I know what to do with James Robinson. Sit him on the bench.
And wait for ETN not to perform.
But I couldn't put like DJ on there. I'm like, he's going to be terrible. The Texans are going to be terrible.
What about your Javante Williams, Melvin Gordon? For this year and this year only. How do you guys rank those two? Who's above whom?
Gordon is over Williams. Right now.
For the majority of the season, I would say Javante over Melvin.
I cheated. I just went Javante one spot over Melvin Gordon, like pretty much.
He'll win out later in the year, but Melvin Gordon will start the season. He'll probably keep the job for 5-6 games.
Yeah, we'll see.
I've been wrong before.
Yeah.
Not afraid to be wrong.
They moved up to draft him, and he was basically a first-round pick because he was at the top of the second. So he'll play sooner or later. Melvin ain't playing the whole season. Plus, he's in a contract year, and they're going to be like, I don't want to pay you. So, bye-bye.
Yeah. Maybe they trade Melvin Gordon to the Rams.
Ooh, that's intriguing.
No, the Rams said they're good with who they got.
Yeah.
That's what I would say, too, if I was trying to trade for somebody and didn't want to get bent over the table.
By the way, thanks a lot, Sleeper.
Oh, let's hear it. Go ahead.
I pick up Jake Funk because of what Brad said on the show last week, and I wanted my team name to be the Funk, the whole Funk, and nothing but the Funk in honor of Marshall from How I Met Your Mother and his band.
Big Fudge.
And go for Big Fudge. And they don't give me enough characters.
Lawyered.
I was upset. And now I don't know what to do with Jake Funk. Do I drop him? Do I hang on to him?
How many characters off were you?
Quite a few, because they only give you like 25. So if you do the Funk, the whole Funk, and nothing but the Funk.
Could you change it to "the" instead of "the" to drop one letter off?
I still don't think I would make it. I would probably have to make it like Funk, whole Funk, and nothing but Funk to make it work. But then it just sounds funny.
Could you, instead of saying nothing, could you say nuttin'?
I could try. I don't think it's gonna fit.
You gotta get a little clever with your words, man.
Just give me more characters. How about that, Sleeper? Let me make my team name as long as I want.
No, man, it's texting back in the freaking early 2000s when you didn't want to type a bunch out because you didn't have a full keyboard. You had to press.
Because I had to press
button four times to get an S.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were like
T9 text.
Yeah.
The real. That's how you knew you know how to text fast for real.
All right. I think we have killed this one dead. Is there anybody we haven't mentioned that you guys want to mention? Running backs to just say keep an eye on, sleeper appeal. We went through a bunch. A 49er running back. I don't know. We didn't say any 49er running backs, but it's just so hard to pick the 49er running back. Whichever one's starting will be good. It's just finding the one that will be starting.
Yes.
If you own one, you better own them all, right?
Yes. And then there's also the Michael Carter situation in New York, something to monitor.
No fourth-round running back has finished as a RB2 ever in their first year.
Oh, yeah, but I'm just saying it's possible. And then Damian Harris from New England. That's the other. Damian Harris from New England is the other guy I like.
I don't trust anything that Belichick says, and I don't trust him to game plan for one guy week to week. I can't. I can't do it.
Okay.
I worry about Cam's rushing touchdowns.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Cam's gonna run the ball in the red zone,
and he ain't catching nothing.
Okay.
No, that's just how I feel about it. I'm honest. Like, it could be. If Mac Jones takes over, I love Damian Harris.
Yeah. Because Sony Michel might get cut, but then, he was supposedly going to get cut. And then they're like, oh, Sony Michel is really impressing at camp. And it's like, what do you want, Bill Belichick?
What do you want from me?
So,
all right.
Jeff Wilson Jr. is intriguing because of his red zone numbers, but he's hurt. He's hurt. So. It's a crapshoot. After the first 6 or 7, it's like,
Darrell Henderson.
I don't know.
It's like Darrell Henderson. Like, he's the guy there. Is he the guy there?
He's tempting, but
pretty hot and tempted. PhD.
He was 32nd in red zone usage last year, so I don't love it.
Josh, do your thing.
Thanks for tuning in to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Josh. You can find me on Twitter at FFJoshHughes. You can find Brad at Tack Jones, and Eric is at Guns of Elb19. You can find the show at Empty Wagon FF, and that's on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Check out our website at fsa-fr.com. We love you guys, and we will see you next week. Sign up for some leagues.